All right, we've got the vidya there, and we got the live here. Welcome all. Welcome, come one, come all. Welcome to yet another installment of Jan CapmLew podcast with your host CapmLew and Luke. We're committed.
We're doing it, baby.
This has to be at least episode number 50.
It's 74. Technically, it's probably like episode number 76. We did like a 74A and B because of accidents that happened.
See that?
Yeah.
That's what you get.
So it's fine.
See, you get bonus material with the CapmLew podcast because of us not. It's not only not knowing what we're doing, but it's also not caring that we don't know. You don't know what you don't know.
Yeah.
And then you get in there and you swing your knuckles.
Yes.
And you figure things out.
It's nice.
And
also wildly painful at times. It's fine.
Has it been?
No, not. I'm thinking wider than this podcast. This podcast has been relatively painless. But dude, you remember when we were trying to do the videos for Podbean? And we tried 2 different services to transform MOVs to MP4s.
Bunch of scammers.
It's literally scam artists. I think it worked one time.
That's like trying to watch a movie on Putlocker.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah, torrent the newest movies. Yeah.
Trying to torrent the latest
and
whatever.
Does it ever feel like when other people do it, it works, but when you do it, it doesn't work? Because that's the way it feels like with me.
Oh, those feelings. Those feelings, dude. I get gripped up in those feelings sometimes. They are not productive.
Like, have you seen the scene in The Revenant when he gets almost killed by that bear? That's what happened.
Remember when she decided to bite his back? She bit his back and threw him around. Just what's on a guy's back that you're going to be able to, how big is your mouth?
I know, dude.
That you can just, I needed to bite something for a handle, so I used his entire back.
The entire thing.
Half of it. It's
dude,
fine. Because there's give in a rib cage. There's give in a rib cage. And once my canines made it through the intercostal tissues,
I got it.
I was good to go. I flung
fun.
Him around like a rag doll.
Dude, we went and watched that movie together.
We did?
Dude, yeah.
The Revenant?
Yeah, we were sitting in the
Why
seat.
did we do that, bro?
Dude, we probably did it because we wanted something to relax. And we went and watched that. And dude, we were both, I remember us both sitting there and we were both mumbling under our breath, like, dude, don't do that. Just stop. Just lay down. Act dead. And he just get completely destroyed. Like, not enjoyable at all to watch. It was so savage. Oh my goodness. Ugh. And then you commented on the film at the end of it. You said the best part was when he crawled inside of the dead horse because at least it was warm for a minute. I was like, oh my gosh. Just built different. He just built different. Oh my goodness.
What was that guy's name?
Jedediah
Springfield.
Was that really what it was?
No.
Okay.
That's from The Simpsons.
It felt like that though.
Yeah.
You'll have that on those big jobs.
Hugh Glass.
Is that his name?
Was the real guy.
Dude.
Hugh Glass, the Revenant. All right, so here we are, episode of the CapmLew podcast, and we've switched up our tech again. We've interchanged which of our iPhones is doing what.
Yes.
So it's being filmed on Luke's iPhone. And we want to start the show with, I actually made some notes, and now that we've done this little tech change, that makes things easier. I've got my notes up.
I like it.
It's nice. I mean, if we keep this up, we're going to have an actual podcast. So today's episode of the CapmLew podcast, if it could be called a podcast, and if you would call this an episode, is brought to you gratefully by Life Skateboards, the boards that we ride.
It's true.
Life Skateboards located in, where are they now? They moved. We have moved. They moved. The workshop.
They're in, I thought they were still...
They're like an hour outside of Indianapolis or something.
They're right next to where Sam currently lives, so I don't know where that is.
It's like 3 minutes from where Sam lives.
Yeah, and good for him. He was driving an hour one way.
So Sam has taken the Muncie workshop and the Knightstown workshop and consolidated them both into a new property that he outright owns in the town of his habitation.
Yes.
And that workshop is now the focal point of, honestly, one of the great, perhaps undiscovered gems of continental skateboarding. Life Skateboards is not the only brand that is made in-house by craft people.
True.
But it is one of the only guaranteed full craft process skateboard making outfits. Other outfits might tell you that they are a craft outfit, but they are running factory game out of there, and your boards are being made with quicker glues and shorter press times, shorter cure times, with an eye to volume. But Life Skateboards operates with an eye to quality and customer service.
Yep.
So that is why we back them. The quality of the boards is only paralleled by the highest quality craft makers out there.
True.
It surpasses factory operations.
Yeah.
But the quality of customer service, I have personally witnessed
Yeah.
Sam take care of customers to an almost ridiculous degree.
Yes.
I mean, wow.
Yeah.
It's
good people.
So Sam and Casper,
Good people.
yeah, they really are. And while we're over here trying to develop our bunt bingo cards, those guys are cooking up the best laminate 7-ply, 6-ply, 8-ply, 9-ply maple laminate that is available anywhere.
We should ask if Sam wants to partner with the Bunt, like a collab. Let's get Life Skateboards to do a collab with the Bunt.
I want to have Sam on the show.
Yeah.
And have a reaction video.
Yes.
Where he views an episode of the Bunt.
I want to see. Yes.
Now, can I clarify something?
Go ahead.
We are not enemies of the Bunt.
Yeah.
At the level of common humanity.
It's true.
The guys at the Bunt, we wish you well.
Yep.
But at the level of cultural effect,
yes.
influence, I don't know how to say it.
Sure.
Yeah, the Bunt is, it does not have to go. It actually must remain.
It must, yes.
I want the Bunt to remain. I want them to keep doing things the way they feel like they ought to do them.
Yeah.
They have that right, and they do make a contribution.
Absolutely.
I just don't know
what it is.
He said it, I didn't.
I mean, obviously people like
the Bunt.
Vans sponsor them.
Vans is behind the Bunt, and you know what? Good on them. They got. I wish them well. I do wish that they were doing it differently. Yeah. But they should keep doing it whatever way they want to do it.
Yeah.
And we'll just do this the way we want to do it, which does include a mild, a strong amount of thanks and appreciation to Life Skateboards, and a good sprinkling of what some would call shit talking.
Right, smattering.
A smattering of shit talk about things that drag the kids down.
Yeah.
Like, yep.
Yeah, you get it.
So yeah, we don't think it's good to celebrate in sobriety.
Yeah.
Especially young in sobriety. No, we don't think that's cool at all. We don't. We don't think that's good. So brought to you by Life Skateboards, the boards we ride. And we want to give props today to Catchwind Clothing Co.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, at Catchwind Clothing Co.
Yes.
on the Insta celebrations.
Catchwind, baby.
Catchwind Clothing Co. We like Corey Romeiser, and he is also an artist at Golden Press Studio, running them tattoo machines.
True that.
And he's laying in some solid, old school, traditional, elevational design over there. Love me them lady faces and skull designs. I'm a sucker for that stuff.
Roses with knives through them.
I actually prepaid for the next time he runs out at Catchwind. Next time he runs out something that's a black shirt with skulls on them. They're all limited edition.
Yes.
And the next time Corey runs out some skull material, I've prepaid.
Oh, nice.
Yeah.
How much is the shirt? Can we say on?
I don't know. I prepaid some amount that is the equality of a shirt's worth.
One shirt with skulls. Got it.
Don't know. Maybe I don't know if he does. I forget.
Okay.
So Catchwind Clothing Co. We give them props, and second in category of props, but also a supporter of the show. Now Everything Skateboarding
Ooh,
magazine.
so sick.
Okay, so I've been talking about this for a long time,
Yes.
but Everything Skateboarding magazine has dropped, and let all the fly skimmers feel the beat.
Yes. Yeah.
This is epic. Episode 1, edition 1.
Yeah. Something I can't remember.
What is it called when it's a magazine?
Oh, it's wow.
Installment 1,
I think
edition 1.
It's the first. No. Yeah,
It's
it's
the
edition 1.
first of the Everything Skateboarding magazine, new form. It's an old title.
Yeah.
Was under Jim Goodrich. Is that the guy you were thinking about?
That's who I was thinking about, dude. Yeah.
Jim Goodrich is involved. It's Bud Stratford.
Yeah.
It's Jim Goodrich. It's a whole bunch of other folks. Listen, go on Lulu.com.
Yeah.
Go on Lulu.com. Look for Everything Skateboarding and pay your $3 and some cents worth of shekels.
$1.99, I think, or $2.99.
No.
Yeah, it's like completely insanely cheap.
It's like $3.
Yeah.
And it's 500 screens worth of scaling.
It's over 500. It's crazy.
You're right.
524, I think.
The last article starts at page like 535.
No, I thought it was 524 total.
Could be.
I don't know. Dude.
I looked.
It's a tomb.
It is
a tome.
All right. So, a couple of observations. You download the mag. You open it up.
Mm-hmm.
It's like $2, and what I do when I get an online mag in a book reading form like that is I scale it so that the little bar shows up on the side, and then I long hold on the bar, and I just start going.
Yes.
And I just drag through the entire thing.
Yeah.
And I just get a sense for what's going on here.
Yeah.
So I'm scaling through it, and I'm like, whoa, what was that? It's a bowl of food. There's a picture of a bowl of food. I thought food is good.
Yeah.
And then I see there's like a book review.
Yeah.
What was the book?
The Time Machine, I think.
No, what by Aldous Huxley?
Yes, I think.
So then you get toward the end before the last article, which is 70,000 words.
Yes, so many.
It's an interview. It's 70,000 words, and all of the pictures I'm looking at are of delicious looking, shaped, long bordery, downhilly skateboards and stuff like that. Got it.
Bob Lofton. Sorry, Bob.
H.G.
Sorry,
Wells.
My bad.
It was the Time Machine, right?
I think it is the Time
Machine.
Machine.
It is H.G. Wells.
Yeah.
And on and on and on. It's just classic, solid stuff.
Yes.
And then I began to go back up to the top. I was very gratified to see that there is a CapmLew podcast ad in there with your host, CapmLew,
and Luke.
And we were in it.
Yes.
It was there. It said what it said.
Yeah.
We can say what we want for what it's worth. If you've listened this long, it's on you.
It's on you, baby.
We are experts, certified in our own opinions.
Yes.
And we're doing that.
Yes.
So
did any of the articles really catch your eye, or did you enjoy any sections
one thing that
of it?
caught my eye was it had like this travel vloggers from like Colorado thing at the second to last in it.
Yeah.
And I was like, these are Instagram vloggers with their like converted VW.
Yes.
Like these are travel vloggers. And I'm like, this is cool.
Yes.
This is cool because it's not a hyper serious. Plus it had a ton of Bud's art direction in it.
Yeah.
I think, so this morning, there is a young lady I know, and I pulled it up on my iPad. I put it in front of her. She's 18 years old, not a skateboarder.
Okay.
And skipping to the end, she said, I need to get a longboard.
Oh, that's sick.
I want to get one of those.
Yeah.
And I want to ride that. That was her takeaway from just
magazine.
exposure.
Yeah.
But before she said that, she pulled up some of these hand-drawn graphics that Bud has littered throughout this mag.
Yeah.
And she said, I love this art. I love this art. And as she was scaling through it, she's like, this art is awesome. This art is awesome. And it's like Microsoft Paint, Bud is killing it
Yeah,
at art. His art is so good.
it is.
And honestly, for decades, he's just been shit on for his art.
Dude.
And I think that is just
Wow.
a sign that he's like the Charlie Harper of skateboarding. I swear. I swear. He is like the Charlie Harper of skateboarding. And I
Beautiful.
cannot express how happy I am that Bud got to pull together all of these amazing names in skateboarding and do this thing.
Yeah, like Hassoy is
It's
on the cover of it.
yeah,
It's not like
yeah.
it's not like
Hasoy's on the cover.
sometimes you'll buy a zine or something to support somebody, and those things are pretty cool, but
Right.
this feels like it feels like Thrasher meets Concrete Wave meets Transworld
Yeah.
meets a zine that your friend made. And it's kind of got this retro feel to it because there's a bunch of like 80s, like look at the cover. That's so cool.
That's the cover.
Yes.
It's Christian Hasoy.
Yeah, that's
on the cover
so
of it.
sick, dude.
And on the cover, Christian Hasoy.
Yep.
Frontside Grind, Granite Skate Park in 2023.
And then he has a bunch of ads in here for
and on the credit for the cover,
Yeah.
he has a picture of a cruiser board with wheels that he drew.
So
Yellow
sick.
wheeled cruiser board that he drew.
Yeah.
This is what I'm talking about. Then he's got like a 2-page from Seismic. Then he's got a Meet the Staff.
Yeah.
Listen to the staff on this thing. Some of you guys are going to know some of these names, right? You've got publisher Bud Stratford, Laura Richards, Zeppelin Aeroworks, right? Editor Laura Richard. The layout is Peyton Brewer. Peyton did a great job on this. You've got Don Fisher. Don Fisher, contributing. He's the California Connection ad sales. Contributing writers, Jim Goodrich. You got Bud.
Yeah.
Jim Goodrich, Aaron Venditti? I don't know. My apologies. Not that sincere though. Michael Blanchard, Shane and Katie Raybant. Ah bon. Kaylee Cedric, and Flared A. Abraham. Contributing photographers. This is where it starts getting spicy. Jake Levon, Dan McCabe, Steve Simmons, Tina Allingham, Lance Smith, Jim Goodrich, Brett Novak, Warren Bolster, Bud Stratford, Bill Golding, Ted Terabon, Michael Blanchard, Fareed A. Abraham, and he does the final interview too. Bill Kane, Greg Hall, John Yunker, Keith Meek, Shane and Katie Raybant, Kaylee Cedric, Tony Gale, props across the pond, and Win Miller. I mean, these names, this list has a bunch of really, and then there's legal in memoriam, Dorsey Truitt, and William Wild Bill Walker, and then you got the legal mumbo jumbo.
How many total pages are you looking at right there? Is that 552? I see.
The last, the thank yous are on 534.
Oh my gosh, dude.
The thank yous. The last article goes from 455 to 534, 533,
Jeepers creepers.
which is awesome. And then you've got ads that you can tell are like, you've got great looking ads right in the front. And here's some of that Bud Stratford style. This kind of art.
Yes.
With an old man sitting on a chair, smoking a cigarette, reading the skate news.
Garfield style.
It's sick.
Yeah, it's awesome.
Then you've got Bennett and Skate Kings.
Yeah. You've
got Bennett Alligators. You've got Concrete Disciples. You got Yousta's got Chris Weddle in there. Logan Earthski ad in there. Come on.
It's very cool.
It's epic. You've got Meeksterbrow, Madrid, and it's sick. The ad for Full Circle Distribution in Madrid is like a 5-page joke. You've got to go see it. It's great. I love it. As an ad guy,
yes.
I love that sort of thing. You got Tunnel Wheels. Pope Skates is in there, and I'm happy to see that because Mr. Pope and I have corresponded in the past, and it looks like he's doing great. And then here's another Bud Stratford art.
Yeah, that's sick.
This is a Bud Stratford image that I've always loved, and he's just, I love this art. Here's another one that I love so much.
This one's great.
This is Bud. He sees himself as this kind of chubby old dude, and he's not wrong.
Crotchety.
You know, I love it. And he straight up screeds out a solid intro. Then you're in the kitchen. Barbecue chicken penne rigate Alfredo by Bud Stratford.
There's a recipe in here.
There's a recipe in here for this food,
So sick.
right? And then he does a zoom in on what we're reading. The
There
Time
it is.
Machine by H.G. Wells. Then he does the zine scene, and he highlights Chris Battle, formerly Chris Sedition's Zero Street Cred zine, which is awesome. Then there's a new product review, the Arbor Micron. That's the one that the young lady I was talking to looked at, and after she's like, she liked that skateboard, and by the end she wanted one. Simmons USA, Small Company Field Guide. I mean, that is a great place to look at. And Simmons has got some really cool designs that they are doing. I love seeing shapes. And then it goes into Simon Willis. I mean, it just goes on and on. You got more images like this one of longboards, surf style, natural wood scaling through. And then he goes into a featured artist, Rogo, and has a ton of, after the interview, a ton of artwork by Rogo.
Yeah.
And then it goes on and on. Jerry Lopez, an article on Jerry Lopez, the surfer. Death Racer 413 crew, a focus on Death Racer 413. And it just keeps going. Interview with Doug Marker. And there's so much to do in here. And I just scale through it so far, just looking at the pics on my iPad.
Yeah.
And I'm feasting my eyes. Here's a retrospective.
This one is
with
super
Jim
cool.
Goodrich.
This one was really striking for me. I looked at all the pictures and read the captions. I don't know why I liked this one so much. It was awesome.
Because Jim Goodrich is, I mean, here's Alan Gelfand in 1979.
Yeah.
And 77. On and on.
And Bud just asked him to get photos that he really enjoyed. I think that's very cool.
These are epic. This is epic, and we want to encourage you not only to go and get the mag at lulu.com, but also tell everyone else to get it. Seriously. The next episode, next edition is already issue.
There it is.
They're called issues.
That was Jay Sloan in the comment thread.
Thank you.
Thank you, Jay.
The next issue is already whiteboarded.
Oh, wow.
Oh, and that the third issue is already taking form.
Wow.
So the whiteboarding and these issues are coming.
Dude.
And also the next issue after that, they've got some really iconic heavy hitters in skateboarding who are wanting to advertise. And what that says to me is that people get it. It's not a lost cause. Get in there, make your stuff, and do your thing, and they'll find you. So,
dude, good on Bud. I mean, that's a tremendous amount of effort to put into that, and it looks great. It's
Bud has set it in stone that he's not going to take any shoe company but Vans.
So sick.
Yep, he's not going to give any shoe company but Vans a shot.
Sure.
And I'll tell you, I feel like Bud's right. Vans is about the only shoe company that you could say is like truly historic to skateboarding.
Right.
Which brings us to our next topic.
Yeah.
Asics.
Okay.
Asics has come out with skate shoes.
Oh.
Moving on. Next topic.
Yes. It's on your phone. It's on the notes.
I was digging for the notes.
Yes.
And it's
in the ocean of
I need to have Luke here to tell me that I took the notes on my phone. Asics. Yes. Asics is now doing they're doing the stuff. So that's great.
Have you seen their shoes?
I saw them because I watch a lot of YouTubes. They are blue and stuff.
Huh.
So New Balance and Asics are now making shoes, and I have the following message to shoemakers: make good ones.
Yeah, whatever you do, please.
Yeah, whatever you do, make good ones. Make good shoes. That means a lot of different things to a lot of different people. It should be a pretty wide target, but I remember the days of trying to skate some of the skate shoes that were available, and I found them to be quite subpar. Notably, Fallen.
Oh, bro, yeah.
And hang on, give me a second.
Go ahead, take your time.
Thank you.
Everything.
Fallen and stop. I'm getting there.
I'm not rushing you.
Lakai.
Lakai, yeah.
Yes,
rough.
Fallen and Lakai
Sure.
were obviously budget scheduled from the
Yeah.
Chinese factories.
Yeah.
We need skate shoe companies that will quality schedule from the Chinese factories.
Does Asics own New Balance?
I,
Or what's
I,
what's Asics deal?
I don't know. I know that I push regular and I
Okay.
cannot skate switch.
When you were
That's what I
skating,
know.
like in the very beginning, were you guys just getting like old pairs of Converse from the thrift shop type deal?
There were Chuck Taylors,
Okay.
like $15 Chuck Taylors
Yeah.
with not made for
Yes.
anything but being cheap.
Right.
And you would get a hole in the bottom where you
yeah.
moved your feet on the ball of your foot. You get
Yeah.
a hole,
I know it.
and
yes.
we used to wrap duct tape around our foot, and
So
it would
sick.
get all over our boards.
Of course, dude.
Then we started shoe gooing, and we discovered that we could rebuild an entire shoe
Oh, with shoe goo, yeah.
with shoe goo.
You can.
Then we discovered that we could prevent a shoe from wearing out.
With shoe goo.
We used to fill the waffle sole. They're not all waffle.
Yeah,
but
yeah.
we would fill the relief of the sole with shoe goo.
Seriously, the entire bottom?
Upon purchase.
Wow.
Yeah. You would
That's wild.
you would put it in there, let
Yeah.
it settle, and then you'd hit it with a hair dryer, and then you would scrape off.
Wow.
The thing is, pebbles will stick to shoe goo,
They will.
but we scuffed our feet.
Yeah, and they just came off.
So that we would scuff our feet and get on our board and skate.
That's wild, man.
And that made our shoes last longer. Then,
Yes.
okay, Vision came out with skate shoes, and they were horrible.
Okay. Did you skate them?
I hated them.
Okay.
I had a pair or two.
Yeah.
I think I bought a pair.
Yeah.
And they were just not great shoes. They were very narrow.
Yeah.
I didn't have super wide feet, but they were really narrow. They had an ollie patch on them, and that was about the only thing they had that was any different from the cheapest Converse.
Of course.
Then came out the giant cup-soled boot, the Airwalk prototype.
Dude.
I got a pair of those used.
Yes.
From Mike Connolly, the con man.
Okay.
He's in a Thrasher video or two. And he gave me a pair used. They were thrashed out. I repaired them with shoe goo, and they were dope.
Oh, you liked them?
They were the tan ones with the turquoise highlight plastic ribs at the top.
Yeah.
And I loved them. And so for Christmas, I got a black pair, and I hated them.
Why?
Because they were so thick.
Oh.
They hadn't been worn out
They
yet.
hadn't been broken in. I see. Yeah,
I
no
was,
board feel.
I was really disappointed.
Yeah.
They were, and then I didn't break my ankle. I tore out, nothing broke. It tore out all of the ligaments on my front ankle on a bad ollie.
Yeah.
I was riding a shut shark.
Dude.
No nose to speak of. A little longer, but not kicked up.
Yeah.
I was ollieing off a curb over a trash can on its side. Not a big ollie.
Yeah.
I went over the nose. I crushed it, and I was off for 2 weeks or 3, and then I duct taped my ankle and put on those black Airwalk prototypes and tried to skate, and it was
dude.
I had nothing in my life but that.
Dude.
And
brutal.
It was a very dark period of my life.
Yeah.
Very painful. And that injury has continued to heal over the years.
Is it okay now?
Yeah, but I followed it up with in 2004, I broke like all the bones except the big one in my left foot, top of my foot.
Okay.
I blew it out and didn't go to the doctor.
Okay.
Oh, I did. I went to the doctor, got an x-ray. They mixed up my x-ray. There was no diagnosis. And by the time I'd gone for 3 weeks, you know, it was knit.
Yeah.
So I was walking with a cane and still skating.
Is that
your skate
regular, right?
I skate regular. It's my front foot, the same foot.
Yeah, brutal.
So I have a fairly well-seasoned front foot.
Yes.
Pretty strong, pretty good shape. Yeah. So shoes.
Yeah, the New Balances.
Right now, I just wear Vans.
Yes.
And the way I get my Vans to last now is I only wear them when I'm skating.
Yeah, I started doing that. Yeah.
I will wear an old pair of shoes to the park, walk up and switch into my skate shoes, tie them up, and go skate.
Yes.
And that works great for me.
Yeah, me too.
That's working great.
I do the same thing. Skate shoes have started to hurt my feet. I got a bunion developing on my right foot. Like what's happening,
Hey,
dude?
Bruce, it's bunion.
My bunion. It
That's
hurts.
from
The
Nacho Libre.
Nacho Libre.
Hey, Bruce, it's bunion.
So these Asics shoes are they
Don't know.
what's your feel?
Don't
Don't
have
know.
one. Don't have one. All I know is that it is a great idea for any shoe company to launch a skate shoe.
Is that
I do.
okay?
Because the more of these shoes are a high, what do you call it?
Value?
High demand, high value, high
Sure.
profit
Yeah.
item. And the more shoe companies that get into it, the
Yeah.
more skateboarders they're going to sponsor,
Well, and the wider the market, the more
the more
hopefully the
diversity,
cheaper that it's
the
going to be
more.
diverse and cheaper, and hopefully people bump up their quality because they know they have competitors
Well, I don't mind shoe pricing as it is. It's not terribly cheap right now. It's under $100 for a pair of shoes.
for a good pair.
I
Yeah.
don't hold my nose at spending 80, $85, 90
Yeah.
for a pair of Vans. I know
For a good
I'm
set.
gonna make them last.
Yeah.
I've got old pairs that are years and years old that I can walk around in and do stuff in. But on my skate shoes, I keep them fresh. My foot went down a half size
Since you when
since 3 years ago.
really,
Yeah,
I would think they would get bigger. That doesn't
I
make.
have
Is it because you're getting older?
I have a theory.
Okay.
I am getting older.
Yes.
I'm getting older, but I also weigh 40 pounds less.
Oh.
And I have weighed 40 pounds less since being post-surgical in 2014.
Okay.
2014 through 2016, I had a series of abdominal surgeries
You did.
that were involved. And
Invasive.
they were not digestive. They were hernia repairs, multiple
Yeah.
hernia repairs.
They were low.
I had the low ones done, two repairs at once. It was a bilateral, so that counts as twice.
Yeah. Yeah. Oh, it
That's
does.
two repairs.
Yes.
Then I had the umbilical, which is
Oh.
common that after the bilateral, the abs will be pulled down and be freaked out at
Yep.
everything that's going on.
Yeah.
And I was in karate competition and I blew the umbilical, but it never poked out.
Yeah. You just felt it.
I felt it.
Ugh.
I felt it go.
Ugh.
I felt it was weird. All of a sudden I could stick my finger real far in my
Yeah.
belly
You're like,
button.
whoa.
That ain't right.
Yeah.
And
something ain't
so
right.
I had that one repaired in 2015. So 2014, 2015 were involved. And I may have been going under general anesthesia that I developed an absolute love affair with sitting still. I did.
You're just like,
I did.
everybody
No,
chill.
like I would sit still at the end of the day and be like, this is where I belong. Thank you, Lord. And that is not what I used to be.
That's
That's
so
not the
funny.
way I
Yeah,
used to be,
sure.
but that is the way that I kind of am now.
Yes, sure.
So I changed my diet from 2015, 16
Yeah.
till now. That's what, 8 years?
It has. It cannot have been that long,
It has.
dude.
Yeah.
Has it really been?
No, because
On and off.
I tried the diet.
Yeah.
I tried this very regulated diet.
Yeah.
It's low carb, no sugar
Yep.
diet. I tried it
Yeah.
and it was amazing. Like a whole bunch of mobility was
Yep.
I had all kinds of improvement. I did it for 9 months. I lost like 30 pounds. Obviously the weight just wanted to fly off me.
Yes.
And it did.
It
It
wanted
was
to
not
fly off.
it was not a good kind of weight.
Yeah, sure, absolutely.
It
Yeah.
wasn't accompanied by the lean mass that you need to be
Yes.
that chubby.
Yes. Sure.
And so my body right sized, and then holidays came around. I said, okay, from December until March, I'm going to eat whatever I want to. And within 3 months, I was up 30 pounds.
Yeah, like
That's
immediately.
just eating the sugar,
Yeah.
eating all the bread, eating
Yeah.
all the stuff.
Yeah.
And I was like, I don't even eat that much.
Yeah.
It's like my body responds to pure carbs with just loading on weight.
Yeah.
I never looked really fat.
Yeah.
I carried it okay. My body can carry another 25, 30, 40 pounds of weight without looking too chubby.
Yeah.
A little love-handedly.
Yeah, it's fine.
But
Right.
but yeah, so I guess it was 2 or 3 years ago.
You went full on.
I didn't have to go full on. I was just like, you know what? I'm done. As long as I have dietary choices, I'm going to go with lipids and proteins
Yep.
and lots of greens.
Yes.
Like lots of vegetables that are high in fiber and good for me. And I'm not turning away from the Diet Cokes, so I'm not at all a healthy person. Coke Zeros or whatever.
Dude, they're so
I
good.
will enjoy the scouring effect of a carbonated beverage.
Oh yeah.
But I only drink like low glycemic. Actually, those diet drinks are high glycemic. They hit your pancreas
Oh
and make
yeah.
you go into diabetes mode.
Yeah.
They're not good for you. There's no
Diabetes
argument for it.
Golly.
I'm terrible. I'm not
It's not like you're
saying.
drinking those all the time though. Like it's when you
I
go to Chick-fil-A and you get all the chicken nuggets and you grab a Diet
I
Coke.
think I drink them 4 times a week.
That's not the end of
I
the
don't think
world.
I don't care. That's the
Yeah,
key. Is I
right.
don't care about a whole bunch of that
So
stuff.
hold on. Are you saying because you lost the weight, your foot
My
was able
feet.
to shrink?
Yeah, because when your feet are like an arch, right?
Yeah.
And then you get really heavy and the arch comes down, which pushes the heel
Toes
and the toes
out.
away
Yeah,
longer.
sure. Right.
They're longer.
Do you feel like that's what happened?
I do.
That seems wild.
It is.
Okay.
I do. I think
I'm
it
fine.
is wild. The other thing is that in the last 3 years, I have also not. I've not been. I've not been in a state of training.
Sure.
So maybe because I'm not out there all the time working out or riding my skateboard like every day or 3 times, 5 times a week,
Yeah.
maybe my feet lost muscle mass, but that
Oh,
doesn't mean
interesting.
length.
Yeah, that doesn't mean length.
No, I think that the fact that I'm lighter has made my arches rise, which is visible,
Sure.
and has made my feet less blown out.
Yeah.
And I am very happy. I also have bunions.
Dude.
So for the listening audience, a bunion is a calcification of the first knuckle of the big toe,
Yes.
where the ball of the
Yes.
foot.
Yeah.
Calcification of the ball of the foot is very, very common. It can be genetic.
Yeah.
And having a big old knobby first knuckle of the ball of your foot is is not rare, but
It's unpleasant.
it makes shoes. What can happen though is that calcification can knock the big toe
Mm-hmm.
outward
No.
and cause the big toe
Oh,
to
the
impact.
knuckle.
The knuckle gets big
Right,
and
yes.
pushes the big toe, so it splays outward. And I
Yes.
have that deformity in
Yes.
both of my feet.
Yeah.
But the funny thing is, when I stand on the ground,
Mm-hmm.
my big toe doesn't touch the other toes. And even in my shoe right now, it's not touching because I keep the muscles of my feet
Yeah.
strong.
Yeah.
And I also wear wide toe box boots.
Yeah.
And
And
for what it's worth.
and Vans are a little bit wider toe box. I think that's definitely going to be where I'm going to stick. I started walking around my neighborhood, like pushing my kid in a stroller and walking my dog barefoot
That's
for like
smart.
2 miles.
That's smart.
Like literally just trying to strengthen my feet up
Yep.
so that my toes
And let
will
them
spread
spread out.
Yeah.
Yep.
Absolutely.
I do a few little foot exercises every day. I'll
Yeah.
grind my feet down so that my toes spread out.
Yeah.
And then I'll go up and down
Yeah.
on spread toes, just activating all of the toes.
Yes.
And it is what it is.
It's fine.
I know folks who have had bunions.
Yeah.
Where their big toe is under
Oh yeah,
the
it
next
gets so
2
nasty and bad.
toes.
Yeah, absolutely.
And have had surgery to take out the calcification and straighten the big toe.
Yeah.
And it worked.
Yeah.
I'm
worried about losing mobility if you did that though. I wonder what people's experiences are.
I think it works.
Okay.
I do. I think that
I bet there's
the
a bunch of
restoration.
PT that you can do that.
Have you ever watched a video on how they do it?
I've like an animation, but never an actual
Animation will
Yeah,
do.
yeah,
I
sure.
don't need to see an actual.
Yeah.
I ain't into that.
So
So that's shoe news and talking about.
Asics.
Now I think we'll want to talk about the last time I went skateboarding.
Oh yeah, we better ought to go ahead.
I
and
think
go
I
ahead
think
and
it
do
was
that.
really fun. So I go skateboarding the other day.
Go ahead.
I'm really into this Batesville Park.
Yeah.
It's a 40-minute drive. I drove the diesel.
Beautiful.
I did a mileage study on the diesel.
How much?
Over 18 miles
That's what I'm
to the gallon.
saying, dude. It's insane.
Over
It's
18.
insane.
It was hilly. It was a
Yes.
hilly drive. It was the perfect drive. It was 90 minutes of driving.
Yep.
And I got over 18 miles to the gallon at 2,000 RPM going 70.
Yep. It's sick, dude. I'm
Yeah.
telling you, those things rip.
I was so pleased to see that.
Yeah.
Now diesel right now is running in the 360s to the 390s.
Dude, I was
per
buying
gallon.
it when it was like 560
Right.
or something. It
Right.
was brutal.
And then, the low cheapo gas is at like 330, 320 something.
Yeah, so you're getting it. Yeah, it's
So
good.
there is a loss of economy on diesel, but I can embrace that for the reliability of this 7.3 that I'm
Yeah.
driving.
And if you think about, like, if you drove the blood clot,
Yeah.
you would probably get between 9 and 11 miles per gallon.
I think it does a lot better than that.
Do you really?
Yeah, I think
have a hard time imagining that.
I did a mileage study on the blood clot, and it was up around 20.
Does it have a V8?
Yeah,
That doesn't make any sense.
it has a
dude.
Chevy Vortec
It doesn't make any
and a
sense.
4L60 that runs at like 1,000 RPM cruising.
At like 75.
That's at like 75. It's down
Okay.
at like 1,200
Maybe
or
that's what's
1,000
going on.
RPM.
Okay.
I think it's the
That's
transmission
surprising.
puts it way down there,
Sure.
and it really is a delightful vehicle.
No, that's insane.
We're discussing my maroon
Yes.
Chevy
Suburban.
GMC Suburban.
Yes.
1996, a
Beautiful.
great year for hood visibility. You can really, it does not have that. Nowadays, it's in vogue
Yes.
to have a high hood on these trucks.
And why?
Well, what I love about the new trucks, they have that beautiful high hood, which is classy.
Yeah.
It looks great.
Sure.
I love the look. I have as much or little to compensate as any other man.
Yes.
And I love the look of those. And they have backup cameras of such quality.
Oh, it's
But
insane.
I want a forward camera too.
Dude, my work truck has
a forward cam.
Dude, bro,
That's so good. So give me a high hood with a forward cam. We're good to go. Can it record while it's driving?
I'm sure it could.
I want the both of them going so that you can see everything that goes on in terms of.
I can turn it on.
You can turn it on to record, so
Yeah.
you can have your
following distance. And all
your
this.
following
Dude,
distance.
check this out. When I put mine in reverse, it gives me. It's as if there's a camera like 40, more like 20 feet above the vehicle.
Gives you a bird's eye.
It gives you.
That means it has 360 cameras.
It doesn't make any sense.
It has
dude.
360 cameras. It's got cameras underneath your rear view mirrors.
Yes.
Yep. It's got cameras under the rear view mirrors, and it blends that.
Yes.
And then it throws it in an algorithm, and it recreates a bird's eye view.
It's insane.
Son of a guster. I'll tell you what.
Have we come too far?
No, I don't know.
Maybe
what I
not far
do know
enough.
is that I don't have the diagnostic chops
Oh yeah.
to figure out, because nothing is switch anymore. It's all module.
Yes. Module.
And module.
Yeah.
It's all modules. I don't know how to diagnose those things, and I really want to. I have an ODB2, a pretty good one.
But I think on the newer ones, you're going to need something a little bit more hefty.
I would spend $1,000 for the machine
Dude,
that can give me codes and work that out. I would.
I think some of them are like $4,000.
No,
or
yeah,
$6,000.
but there's always one for $1,000 that makes you wish you somewhat functional.
Yeah, right.
But then learning how to use a test light, learning how to use a multimeter, it has to happen.
No, it's true.
It has to happen.
Right.
I got to be able to chase down and know, and knowing what the resistance is supposed to be.
Yeah.
Oh, I need knowledge.
What is electricity? I don't understand.
I need knowledge. Nobody knows what electricity is or light.
Yes.
Nobody knows what light is either.
You know what I was? Yeah. Anyway, we're gonna digress.
Schrodinger's confidant.
Yeah.
So it's Schrodinger's razor.
So you went to Batesville and it was good.
I went to Batesville and I sat there. It was pretty hot. And these young bucks were there. This one young man was there, and he could do a lot.
Yes.
He had lots of pop. And he was riding a Powell flight deck.
Good for him.
Which those are excellent. And I said to him, he said they're unbreakable, which they are. Even after you get them to start breaking and you get a crack, they're not breaking.
That's awesome.
That is true. And I asked him, I said, are they still chippy?
Yeah.
And he said, yeah, they chip, but they won't break.
Yeah.
And I thought, you know what? If you chip it, just glue the chip in. It's a board worth repairing. They're very chippy.
How much are they?
They're $100.
Okay. What makes them unbreakable?
They have gone with a full laminate.
Yes.
Okay, they have the second layer.
Yeah.
Has laminate.
Yeah.
Like all the way out to the edge.
Yes.
And then the bottom, the belly.
Yes.
Has laminate.
Okay.
So belly and penultimate laminate all the way out.
Okay.
And I don't know what they're using. It probably is carbon fiber.
Okay.
But that's the way to do it.
Okay.
They are a 4 or 5 ply.
Oh, so it's actually like 4 or 5 plies and then a layer of carbon fiber.
It's a layer of carbon fiber from the bottom up. It's carbon fiber. Then it's some layering of maple. Could be birch.
Yes.
Could be whatever it wants to be.
It doesn't really matter if you're carbon fiber.
If you're using carbon fiber, you can make something really strong out of really punky stuff.
Yeah.
Then it's a layer of carbon fiber. Then it's a top layer, and the top layer has some anti-pressure crack inlay
Yes.
which
Okay.
is I can
Yeah.
appreciate that. Now I think it's overlay, not inlay.
Okay.
I
Yeah.
think it's overlay
I don't mind that. Is
because
it
it
over the
kind of
trucks?
yeah.
Okay.
So the
Yep.
pressure cracking doesn't show.
Yes.
That's
Understood.
mostly what you get
Sure.
is you mask pressure cracking.
And it would make sense if they're using an epoxy to get the carbon fiber to work. It makes sense that they would be super chippy because the adhesion would be
Well,
super brittle.
also the edge profile
Hmm.
is only like comparable to 4 layers of maple.
Oh, interesting.
Yeah, so that means that the impact is not spread,
Yes.
so the force is not degraded
Yep.
over any like 7
Yeah.
plies
Yes.
in a nice oblique round.
Yep.
Like you're not going to get any of that.
Yep.
So they're going to chip.
Yeah.
But I have to say once again, kudos and what props
Do you
that
think
we
you
add.
can get a like 8.5-inch flight deck?
Yes.
You
In
can.
fact, I have been watching Dan Corrigan's
Okay.
videos,
Yeah.
and it appears that Powell is working on releasing the flight deck. I mean, Andy Anderson's board is a flight deck.
Oh, it is.
Yeah,
I didn't know that. Okay.
yeah.
Cool.
I mean, I understand it to be. I could be
Sure.
wrong because
Yeah.
I'm wrong about a lot of things, and we depend on our listeners to send that over to the
CapmLew
the hate
questions.
the hate mail. Yeah,
Yes.
CapmLewQuestions@gmail.com. And Bob is on here, and
Ah.
Bob is saying the problem is wearing out the tail. Here's the thing. It's true. I remain an enthusiastic fan with good evidences for my position of fandom, my opinion,
Yes.
that 7-ply maple is not only great basic tech for
Sure.
daily skateboarding,
Sure.
but also the stands of maple have been being farmed for 200 years or so,
Yeah.
and they are self-renewing.
Yeah. That's what they do.
So, as far as I understand it, maple is green with a relatively low carbon footprint if it's not shipped across the seas on
Right.
boats that burn just what is just above crude oil.
Yes.
They filter crude oil through a cheesecloth.
Yeah. And then
That's
throw it down.
boat
Yes.
fuel,
Right.
you know.
Right.
So I think that maple is greener than some of these high chemical epoxies
Yeah. High
and
synthetic.
some of the process of making carbon fiber and
Yeah.
things like that. I remember when hemp resins came into vogue, and
Oh.
hemp and bamboo,
Sure.
and the carbon footprint for people who count such things was so high on those
Like
products
astronomical.
and was also hidden. The
Oh
Chinese
boy.
bamboo market,
Yeah.
oh my gosh, it was gross. And I'd see all these guys, you know, in their workshops that I knew
Yeah.
working with bamboo and things like that. And I was thinking, you know what? Just don't tell them.
Just
don't tell them.
Just don't tell them, man.
I didn't.
Yeah.
I didn't tell
fine.
them. Oh, that's great. That's great. You know, but then I would write something or say something, and
They're like, get him.
no, they didn't. No, I really didn't get gotten over that. I got gotten so hard over the other things that they didn't
They were
have
like,
to use
he's
that.
dead already.
Yeah.
I do wonder how. So like on these flight decks, if they're doing layers of carbon fiber with layers of wood,
Mm-hmm.
how are they? Because carbon fiber only works if you have a resinous epoxy that's going to harden, and then the carbon fiber it's like rebar in concrete, right? So
No,
I want.
no,
You don't think so?
no. What carbon fiber does? It's cabling.
That's what I mean.
So
Yeah.
what carbon fiber does is along its length, it prevents things from.
Yes.
It won't. They won't. They won't. I think the real carbon footprint has to include the cost of frequently
Yeah.
replacing a board. Okay, for the win, Bob Lofton.
BL,
By the way,
baby.
Bob just put up on his podcast a full breakdown of I can't remember what was it, Bob? I haven't listened to it yet, but we want everyone to want to listen to Bob Lofton.
Never can.
But you can't,
Right.
because Bob has to invite you to, and you know what? That's on you.
That's on you, man.
You were supposed to make the connections. You were supposed to get the leads. You lost the account.
You're blowing it.
You're blowing it.
Oh man.
So, carbon fiber.
Carbon fiber.
Yeah, carbon fiber is a cabling technology that is highly strong on its linear path. That's
Yeah.
why multiple directions of carbon fiber give multiple directions of strength.
But
Now, what you're getting is it's not making them stiff.
okay.
It's adhering
Yeah.
their tensile strength
Yes.
to the plies.
Understood.
Any glue that is capable
Yeah.
of strongly adhering the fiber, whether it's glass
Yeah.
or carbon or
Sure.
Kevlar, I don't get it.
I don't know.
Because Kevlar is, I don't know the properties of Kevlar, but
Me
I'll
neither.
take it. It's fine.
It's fine.
So, and wait till they start to try Newtonian
Pro.
like Newtonian
Technology and
solid
skateboard.
technologies,
Yeah,
like
right.
D3 armor. When you hit it, it becomes hard as a rock.
Oh.
D3 armor in your padding on
Sure.
motorcycle stuff
Yeah.
is soft and flexible.
But when you hit
But
it, it's
the
hard.
instant you hit it with a hammer, it's hard as a rock,
It's
and
like-
then it's right back to soft.
It's like cornstarch and water.
Yes,
Yes.
that's a Newtonian.
Yes.
What do they call it? A Newtonian fluid?
Yeah, maybe that's what it is. Yeah. Sure.
It has a Newtonian property. I think that would make probably a terrible skateboard.
You do wonder if it gets hard
But
enough.
you
quick
wonder
enough.
if someone is going to do that, figure out some way to, maybe if you inject someone with nanoparticles and then you use a smartphone
Yes.
To control them. I don't know.
Well,
We'll wait for 6G to figure that out.
Let me ask you this. So the carbon fiber, I've only seen it come in sheets. That's
It does.
It's like
it comes
fabric.
in fabric. Yeah.
Yeah, but so
It's fabric.
you're telling me that those fabrics have a direction in which they're gonna have really good tensile strength.
Longitudinal tensile strength.
But aren't they woven together? Aren't they woven?
What that
threads?
means is you've got one going on. Take a two-directional weave, right?
Yeah, that's
a
what I'm saying.
bidirectional weave, right? So you have a y-axis and an x-axis.
X-axis.
And that means that you have tremendous strength if it's adhered.
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah.
If it's adhered to a core.
Yeah.
With one on one side, the other on the other side.
Yeah.
That core now has incredible strength along the y-axis.
Yes.
And incredible strength along the x-axis.
Understood.
Then, if you introduce multiple layers.
Yep.
Okay. You can put them at 45s,
Yes.
and then you get the, I don't know, more letters.
Like diagonals.
You get some diagonals,
yes, right,
but you don't need that on a skateboard.
No.
It's not that important. It's the same thing that the wood is doing.
Yeah.
Exactly. Wood grain,
Yep.
adequate strength.
Yeah.
So, but on carbon fiber, the key is to have an encased core.
Yes.
The further apart that core is, the stiffer.
Oh, interesting.
Yeah.
Like you mean further apart?
So say you're using 1/16 sheets of laminate veneer, right? And you take a board and it's like you do like a 7-ply layup, and only the center ply has carbon fiber.
Sure.
You're not going to get a lot of
stiffening.
Okay.
I'm seeing what
a
you're
lot
saying.
of stiffening.
Yeah, sure.
But if you put them further apart, like the belly and the penultimate with one wood on the top, right now you've got 6 plies that are encased in carbon fiber. Now the same goes for glass.
Okay.
On a skateboard layup, the aim is to go with penultimates. That means ultimate means last, penultimate means the one before the last. So you want to go wood, glass, and then now you want to get your glass, you want to get whatever fiber you're using all the way out to the edge.
When
and that's
you say
where
glass, are you
fiberglass.
talking about, fiber? I was like, dude, what do you mean glass? Okay,
Fiberglass.
Yes, I understand.
Right.
Yes.
So you're getting nanotube strength.
Yeah, sure.
It's cables.
Yeah.
All these fibers are cable strength.
Yeah.
And you're getting cabling, and distance between them equals stiffness.
That's interesting,
Yeah.
man. That's really fascinating.
Yeah.
Because I'm wondering, I'm like, how are they? I know when you're using fiberglass.
And it's not only stiffness, but stiffness of high tensile strength.
Yes.
Yeah.
Especially longitudinally along.
Carbon fiber
board.
has a higher tensile strength than steel.
Yeah, that's crazy.
So if you had a wire made of carbon fiber material and a wire made of steel, and they were both the same diameter, and you pulled them, the steel will break
before the carbon
with
fiber.
less force than the carbon fiber.
Yeah,
the carbon one will.
Wild. Man.
So you take those wires,
Yeah.
those are the fibers,
yes,
and you make them into tech, and you get tensile.
But don't you have to
strength
use like specific epoxy substances that are going to encase that carbon fiber or fiberglass, and that's really what brings the hardness and allows the tensile strength. No.
You are confusing hardness with tensile strength.
No,
what you wanted, the tensile strength is in the fabric.
Yeah, but it's not if it doesn't have epoxy in it, right?
No,
You're talking about
no,
the
no,
ability for it
no.
to stretch.
No,
I'm
if I
talking about
took
the
that
ability to.
that fabric has the strength with no epoxy in it.
Yes.
It's attaching.
Yeah.
It's the attachment of that fabric to your layers
Yeah.
that gives that strength to your layers.
Yes.
So
Yes.
any adhesive
Would
that
work.
is able, any adhesive that is adequate to attach it,
Yeah.
that's where laminates tend to fail,
Sure.
is that you get enough force that the bond between the fiber laminate and the, in the case of a skateboard, the wood,
Sure.
the bond actually shears out.
Oh, interesting. I see
Yes.
what you're saying.
So
It makes sense.
you get a
Yep.
delamination between the strength of the fiber
Yep.
and the wood,
Yep.
and that's why epoxy is the name of the game,
Sure.
because you're getting an amazing strength of bond
Yep.
that's pretty much, it's just well beyond what a skateboarder is going to do to
Sure.
a skateboard.
Right.
And that's why. Now, I know that glass layups
Mm-hmm.
can be done with polyvinyl acrylic glues.
Okay.
Your Titebond family
Sure.
can do a nice glass layup and make a really indestructible skateboard.
Yeah.
Like very easily.
It would be cool to do some tests, man.
I don't want to, and here's why.
Okay, go ahead.
Because it's been, how you design a test is like a career.
Okay.
And we have a lot of very badly designed testing going on in skateboarding.
Yeah.
Where they're like just dropping a thing on a thing.
Yeah, they're like, look at this.
And that's
no,
fine.
I'm talking about totally subjective, anecdotal. Like, yeah, we threw some carbon fiber sheets onto this. We made a skateboard, and this is the way that I feel about it.
Well,
that's be fun.
Okay, so you're talking about trials. When you use the word testing, I immediately go into like, dude, oh man,
bro, it doesn't have to be like
you have
that.
To have a control group and a placebo and a double blind.
Double blind.
They're already publishing studies from ridiculous hacks who are,
man.
I'm just.
Let's put on a lab coat. Let's get down there.
I'm saying you don't need a lab coat for this. you throw a couple of layers. Throw a couple of full sheet layers of glass into something. I tell you what, if I had carbon fiber, I'd cut it. I'd lay it up with PVA. I would. I'd lay it up with PVA in a proper coating, properly pressed, properly cured, and I bet you that it would be just like glass. Sure. It would be freaking amazing as long as you used a carbon fiber that was properly coated. I think you need to pre-roll it. You need to get it there in time. Yeah. You need to, when the glue is in the open working time. Yeah. As long as it was properly done and properly coated, I bet you PVA like Titebond 2 would work, which is better for skateboards than Titebond 3 or Multibond Skate. Don't believe the hype. You're gonna get a great skateboard. Nobody's doing it.
Is there a reason why you wouldn't? Like if you were running, you would do it? Would you incorporate
the reason I wouldn't do it or haven't done it is because, man, now I've got to procure a bunch of fiber and I've got to cut these in.
I bet they just come in rolls that you can slice up into 12-inch, 1 foot section.
It sure does.
Do you think that you would dunk that piece into the glue?
I'd pre-roll it.
Yeah, okay.
I would. I'd clip it into a jig. And I need to build that jig with the clips. Yeah. I would basically clip it to a piece of plastic and I would pre-roll. Yeah. And then I would unclip it and flip it and reclip it and pre-roll. Right. And then I would roll the joints where it's going to go in, roll both sides of that, and I would put it together and I would put it under pressure and all of it with an open working time. But the problem, what really kept me from doing it was proper 6-ply, pre-cured, properly rolled, well collated, was already lasting 3 months, 6 months, 9 months to razor tail to giveaway to I see people riding that same custom painted board 3 hand-me-downs later, 2 years, skated in the rain on non-waterproof glue. Yeah. And the thing's got razor tail, but still a good length of tail on it. The thing has been beat on and wailed on. The first guy was a complete ripper, jumping down things. The next guy was a little kid who left it out in the rain. And the third guy is one of them crust punk guys who is a ripper, but he's on used stuff. And I'm not driven. I'm not driven. Like, I wanted my skateboard work to be a vehicle for good vibes.
Sure.
I wanted it to be a vehicle for cultural diversity in skateboarding. I didn't care about innovation. I cared about renovation. I
yeah.
wanted to renew
Sure.
skateboarding's core. I
Yeah.
wanted to bring back the value of the individual who chose to ride the skateboard,
Yeah.
today
Yeah.
type of thing.
Sure.
So, and I went to war
Yeah.
in that.
Sure.
And so culture has always been more important to me than the other thing is that level of getting a product made like that.
Mm-hmm.
Coming from my workshop with the kind of work I put in,
Mm-hmm.
that's $225.
Yeah, which I think is well worth it. I mean,
Yeah,
if you're gonna have a board that's gonna last literally like maybe the rest of your life,
especially if you're running an extra layer in the tail
yes,
and an extra layer in the nose,
Yep.
or if you're running
oh,
a handcrafted wooden tail guard
yeah,
that's
that
going
would
to
be
slow
cool,
down the wear
man.
on the
Yeah,
tail.
yeah.
I did that.
It
I
was-
ran extra layers in the tail and the nose, and it
I
was
remember
very
that.
successful.
I remember that.
It
Yeah, that's
was.
cool, man.
That
That's
was very
cool.
successful.
Yeah.
And
Are the flight decks? How many layers of laminate are
the
there?
boys at the Batesville told
Mhm.
me 5.
Oh, wow. Cheapers.
Told me they're
creepers.
5 layer. I don't know.
Okay.
I have held them. I have counted them. It is weird. They are different thicknesses.
Yeah.
But what I looked at was I thought this is a high tensile strength deck
Mm-hmm.
with a very low impact strength on the edge.
Yes.
And I have had my life skateboard and my Fickle skateboards from my workshop.
Yeah.
I've had them hit concrete blocks and chip concrete blocks.
Yeah.
There's a video on my feed somewhere back there of that very thing happening. And no joke, it really was that they broke concrete blocks.
Yes.
We have a visitor, a special guest today. Come here, Rocco. Get up here. Come here, buddy. Come up here.
He's
come
like,
here.
don't.
There he is. There's our guy.
Rocco.
It's Mr. Rocco. He's on video.
He's
getting so old.
Dude,
He's downright grandpa dog. He's downright grandpa dog.
Grampy
he
Rock.
is. There he is. Good boy.
Good boy,
You're
Rocco.
a good boy, Rocco. We love you, bud.
You crazy.
Yeah, he's just been the absolute most medically positive contribution to my life.
Been a
this
chronic.
dog,
He's
seriously.
chronic.
Last night we came upstairs to every night we watch our TV show.
Yeah.
By the way,
Yes.
Something we really need to talk about is the plot to The Blacklist.
Dude.
It's terrible. I mean, I
man.
keep watching it. There are 9 seasons, and I'm like in season 4, and I'm going to the very end, but it's just awful.
Bro, yeah.
But I can't get enough of James Spader as Red Reddington.
Okay.
I can't get enough of the
You
guy.
just want to soak him in.
I'm
Get it.
He's got all the hookups.
Yeah,
He has virtually unlimited wealth.
man.
So anyway, so I was
Yeah.
there. I sat and I watched these boys ripping on their Powell flight decks, and boy, were they good. They were so good.
Were they doing
Well,
street
the one
maneuvers?
boy, the
Okay.
one boy came up. He was probably 30.
Yeah.
He came up, burly guy,
Mm-hmm.
and he hit a frontside tail slide on the quarter pipe where the bench is. What's that, like 18 feet wide?
Yes.
He came up at Mach 3.
Yeah.
And I pivot onto the tail, but this guy, he squinched up his across there.
Yeah.
First rip.
Like for how many feet? 6?
Yeah.
Wow.
6, 7 feet.
That's cool.
Just threw a frontside tail slide.
Yeah.
Boink!
Yeah. So sick.
Just so sick to see.
Yes.
The other guy was killing the rail.
Of course.
These guys could do crooked grinds at will.
So sick.
The two main guys, and then there was the quiet kid.
Of course.
The quiet kid was like their noob.
Yeah.
And he ripped so good.
Yeah.
And so those guys are just ripping it up. And I had my nephew with me,
Mm-hmm.
and we were just hanging out. And then nephew goes over to the half pipe area,
Mm-hmm.
and he's just kind of doing his thing.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm like, all right. So I did the Wally block.
Yes.
I did the line that sends me around and getting back to the Wally block. I did the Wally block and did it a couple times. And it's an embankment to a wedge Wally.
Yeah.
And
Not small.
It's not. It's
Probably 42 inches above the top of the bank.
Okay.
Yes.
I'd say
Maybe 3 feet.
I'd give it 36.
between,
I'd give it
yeah,
36.
between.
The other Wally,
Yeah.
the jersey,
Yes.
the round wall jersey wall.
Hold on. Did you go over that full air over the
No,
jersey? Okay. I was just a freak.
I'm clicking over.
Yeah,
I'm
clicking
clipping over that
yes,
one.
Yeah.
But where it really got good for me
Yes.
in my experience was the backside of the round wall jersey wall. So it goes bank, tight threshold to a jersey wall, and on the back of it is a tight quarter pipe, probably a 5-foot transition.
Yes.
And it's 4 feet high.
Yeah.
From the back.
Yes.
Back there, I was just throwing frontside across it.
Oh yeah.
And just raking the truck over it, weightless.
Yes.
You know, it's
Yeah.
like you're almost ollieing and just going.
Yes.
You're throwing your body across it, and you just bring your board with your feet.
Yeah.
I was throwing those, and my nephew was over there.
Yeah.
And I was thinking, like, what he's seeing is he's seeing me come up, and he's seeing the tail of my board in my truck,
Yeah.
just raking across the top.
Kinda hearing
Probably
the sound.
probably that wide.
Pretty gnarly.
Not 2 feet, but definitely more than 18 inches
'Cause
of
it's
just
concave.
raking.
Yeah, you're like
It's
on
a
the-
tight.
Well,
I
and I mean
loved it.
it's not a linear quarter pipe.
It's actually
not a line.
convex because you're
Convex,
on
I'm
the
sorry, yeah,
you're on the
convex,
back side
yeah.
of a round wall, so
Right.
it falls away as you go forward.
Which is I enjoy
Me
tremendously.
too.
Yeah,
It has
absolutely.
fall away, so
Yes.
your weightless moment is increased. And
Yeah.
so I was doing that, and then I squeebled out on something really simple, and I fell down. I fell on my wrist,
Okay.
and my shoulder.
Oh, I didn't know.
My
Okay.
shoulder went kapoink.
From the wrist. Like
From,
did,
I
like,
put my wrist down and my shoulder went kapoink, and then my elbow hit. Or I hit my wrist and my elbow threw my shoulder out.
Which makes sense.
And not out, not
Yeah,
dislocated,
sure.
but like kapoink, you
You're like,
know?
oh.
And it made noise.
Oh, no.
It made clickety clack noise. It was scary.
Okay.
Right. So I'm sitting there on the ground.
Yeah.
And I'm like, ooh. So I get up, right? I get up and I'm like, I might have broke something.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
Like that was deep.
Yeah.
So I get up and I just start like, I walk around a little bit and I get my board and I roll over that way and I roll over this way. And all of a sudden I'm like, I want to throw up.
Oh no.
Yeah.
Not
I
good.
was like, man, I
Not
must
good.
have really
hit it.
done
Yeah.
that. I sure hope I didn't like mess up my
Yeah.
rotator cuff and all
Yeah.
that stuff, because I know shoulders, man, they're every which way in a
Yeah.
shoulder. You know, you got all these parts and pieces, and they're all. I know shoulders are really hard. You know.
Yeah.
And I was like, okay, so I'm gonna have to let this heal. You know, and you know, I get up on top. I rode up and I went up on top of the thing, and I'm just like sitting there, and I'm like about to faint.
Yeah.
I started shocking out,
like low blood sugar feeling. Yeah.
Yeah, I start shocking out, and I'm like, man, that must have really did something.
Yeah.
And I'm like, okay, feels muscular.
Yeah.
You know, and I've got a little bit of a click where my clavicle joins my sternum.
I don't like it.
It's right where my clavicle joins my sternum.
The click I'm hearing right now is
loud.
Yeah,
it's a loud click.
Yes,
you know?
Absolutely.
And so I definitely probably tore some ligaments.
It's fine.
Which is probably why all of a sudden I have this.
Dude, they can probably hear it in your lav mic.
I'm sure they can.
That's hilarious.
But it's not terribly painful. I've got some like some impingement and some weakness and range of motion that shows that I may have torn up some stuff.
Yeah.
So here's my game.
Okay.
My first game is I'm gonna have to start just falling down instead of catching myself.
Like literally just like on your side, like yes.
Which means I need to take my game down and go small arts.
Okay. Yeah.
I'm gonna have to go small arts and take the falls while I'm gonna have to allow this to heal, and then I have to buy one kettlebell.
No, dude. Dang it.
Like
a 5-pounder.
5 minutes a day.
Yeah.
The smallest one I found was 18 pounds.
Oh, bro, that's way too heavy for one arm, man.
Yeah.
I mean, it's not horribly heavy.
I'm going to have to work.
You're definitely working your shoulder.
I've got to work so my shoulders are in the right position.
Yeah.
I might get 2 kettlebells. I'm not making any promises.
If
I can find one that's 10 pounds, it's probably way too light.
Or, and stay with me, you could just start taking tea. Your body heals so quick when you're on tea.
I do so hard not want to
Like, no, please don't.
ingest or take any artificial substance,
Oh, man.
especially something that will disrupt my endocrine system. I
Well,
would rather take something that promotes my body
yes, to
producing
heal.
its own tea.
Oh, for sure. You could,
Yeah,
yeah. I mean,
I'd
and
much
working out is really
rather
it's gonna up your T
I'd
levels.
much
And
rather work with a kettlebell on my leg strength
yeah,
and my core strength and my hip strength and all
yeah,
that, and let my body, I could ignore the shoulder entirely,
yes,
and I could work on all my core strength, my abs, my
yeah,
legs, and the other shoulder.
yeah,
And that would release into my body the hormones and other things in my endocrine system that will repair the injury.
yes.
And also, they found in people who have like a broken arm, if you exercise the other arm, you get less atrophy.
Whoa.
Yes,
How does that even?
you work
Okay,
out your arm,
that's
your
fine.
body will build both your arms.
I did not know that.
Look it up.
That's true.
Look it
I
up.
can. I get my phone is up in the thing.
Well, one of the things I've
I
done
will.
as a lifelong martial artist is I have realized, like, when you have an injury, then you work everything else.
Sure.
And so I'm going to work on everything else until it feels good enough.
Yeah.
Hurt does not mean harm.
Sure.
So I'm gonna keep track of whether it gets better,
Yeah.
worse, or stays the same. But I have to start strength training
Yes.
because I don't do strength training
Yeah.
enough that the injury happened in the first place.
Yeah, and the ligaments that attach
Yeah.
the bone begin to atrophy just a little bit, and you get that, dude. I'm
Yeah.
I'm terrified of that.
Well, I mean,
I don't like the idea.
it was terrifying.
Yeah.
I wasn't terrified. I was like, well, this is what you have on planet Earth.
Well, and
This
you're
is the
also
stuff of
50.
Earth.
You know what I
I'm
mean?
50.
Yeah, like things are just going to be a little bit different now, which is fine. Dude, BL says adding hormones to your body unnaturally is nuts. So true.
Well,
So
actually,
true.
that's very punny because we're talking about synthetic tea, and synthetic tea is produced
in the testes.
in the nuts.
Yes, in the nuts.
Which, if you take synthetic tea, your testes will stop producing tea.
That's the problem. Yeah.
They will. Oh, is it? Because not only that, if you stay on synthetic tea long enough,
Yeah.
not only will your nuts turn to tiny raisins,
Yes.
right? Your walnuts will turn to hickory nuts
Yes.
and to peanuts,
Yes.
right? That's, I don't know, easier to cross your legs at the knee.
Yeah, I mean, there is some upsides.
But you will also, it's possible that you will never be able to produce adequate tea
Yep.
ever again in your life if the grid goes down and you can't get your gear.
Yes, 100%.
So
don't do it.
I like to live my life as if the Middle Ages could kick off again. I'm not a prepper. I don't have any confidence in 25-year shelf life buckets of food.
Yeah, no.
Okay?
No.
My confidence is in my relationships, beginning with my relationship with the God who is described in this book, the Bible.
True
right?
That. True that.
That's the first relationship. And the second relationship is that I have people in my life who I love and who love me at the family level, high commitment level, to a greater degree than many people do. And it is a lovely thing. It's not an achievement, but it's a fruit of the way that I'm living.
Yeah.
And that's the best preparation for hard times you could ever get.
Get some good friends.
If I lay up a whole bunch of stuff, most likely someone is just going to steal it.
Yes.
But if I have a relationship with the Almighty and I know where I'm going when I leave, then no matter how hard things do or don't get, I can know who I am, whose I am, that I am loved, that I am cherished so much that God gave his only son. And that's what I'm based in. So
based in amen.
I appreciate your suggestion to go on tea. I will.
Just for the record, it's totally a joke. Everybody's going to be able to watch. I was going to say only listeners, but everybody watches. Oh no, I guess if you get it on Apple, you're going to be listening. It's fine. It's a joke.
Yeah, I also don't want to have my tea levels tested. I just want to do the things that will
increase.
It will just be good enough for now.
Yeah. And even small stuff like getting the sun on your face in the morning,
that's
doing
right.
some workouts,
vitamin D,
That stuff is really, it's potent. Eating
It
good
is.
like you are, that's going to be really important.
So, I don't put any confidence in all that. This morning I had a discussion with a former nurse who works in dietary, and she was she was saying, "You're going to be okay because your diet is this and that." And I'm like, "Whoa, whoa, 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 whoa! Just slow down,
Yeah.
all right? First of all, everybody dies, and most people die of something
At some point.
at some point.
Yeah.
And I'm not going to waste any of my good day trying to keep myself from dying of something. So I give up the illusion of control. Well, already my blood cortisol levels are
Yeah.
low, and a high blood cortisol level full. If I'm at ease,
Yeah.
I'm less likely to build that seed bed for dis-ease.
Yes.
So that's healthy.
Yeah.
Objectively, science. How about it, science?
Yeah, take
So
that, Bill Nye.
But yesterday
Yesterday.
on this diet of mine,
Yeah.
I had a business lunch,
Okay.
right? Some high level roofing. It was dope.
Okay.
We go out to this business lunch.
Yeah.
It was so good.
Where was it?
Skyline.
Oh, bro.
Yeah,
What do you get?
grade E beef.
Yeah,
So
legitimately.
here's what I get at Skyline. So before anyone accuses me of a healthy diet,
Okay.
right? I go to Skyline and I get a Coney bowl, which is hot dogs
Dude,
in a bowl
that is so
with
good.
Skyline chili and cheese on top.
Bro, they
But-
have a Coney bowl. Okay.
But I'm not a sucker,
Okay.
right?
Okay.
It comes with 3 hot dogs.
Okay.
I tell her, make it 5.
And she does.
They're there
Beautiful.
to serve.
Dude.
I says to her,
Dude.
you got that spicy habanero cheese? She says, yeah. I
Oh.
says, give me that on it. She
Okay.
says, yeah. I said, only just I want extra cheese.
Yeah.
She brings it out.
Yeah.
And it's got a whole bowl of extra cheese. I put that on top.
Dude.
Let the heat of the chili do its magic. Spoon cutting
Yes.
pieces of these hot dogs. That was my lunch. How much sodium?
Dude.
How many nitrates and zitrates were in there? I mean,
how much atrazine did
that
you
was
just take?
completely right. All my frogs after that were
Right,
totally gay.
Yeah, dude.
So I'm eating this thing,
Oh my gosh.
and I'm like, well, this is what we do for glamour.
Oh.
All right. So and it's delicious, salty, very salty.
Yeah.
I see you drink a little extra. So
Okay.
I ordered 3 Diet Mountain Dews with it.
Bro.
Yeah, this is me.
Your body's
Before
screaming
anyone
for
says
mercy.
I'm not smart, I'm
No.
not healthy,
No.
right?
Yeah.
Okay, so I have that, right?
Okay.
I come home to the house where every night we have a big dinner.
Yeah.
That's a big thing at our house. We have family dinner every night. Come home for family dinner. It's a huge mountain of wonderfully cooked with like olive oil and butter and spices zucchini.
Oh.
Huge mound of it. I took a plate full of that.
Yeah.
And there's a meat sauce, low salt meat sauce.
Okay.
Little tomato in there.
Yeah. What meat? Beef?
Presume it was beef.
Yeah, it's fine.
I don't know.
Yeah. Who knows? It's fine.
I don't care.
Yeah, it's fine.
I don't know if I'm into the lab grown stuff yet, but
Okay.
I am not here to fight about that.
Dude. Oh.
I'm not. It's a bad idea. I don't like it.
That's all I'm saying.
I am against globalism. I am against authoritarian tyranny. I will continue to be until they round me up.
Yeah.
But I don't know.
Yeah.
So I eat this giant plate of stuff.
Okay.
Right. And I wasn't thinking about it because I don't obsess.
Yeah.
Obsessing. I'll tell you what I do about food. I give thanks.
Yeah.
Just give thanks. Just give thanks for your food and eat it and live your life giving thanks and let God figure out what you die of.
Yeah.
He's very good at this. He's very good at this. And if it's a long, protracted illness, some dreadful cancer gnawing away, painful bone cancer or throat cancer or whatever you're going to get.
Just vape through it.
No, here's the thing. I will.
Yeah, I know.
Here's the thing. You won't have a time machine to go back and build those relationships.
Yeah.
So while you're young and strong, build the kinds of relationships with God and each other that you're not going to be destroyed from your heart.
Yeah.
Laying there when you're being destroyed in your body.
Yeah.
Make a difference between those things, Say no to your appetites that take you off the path.
Yeah.
And I'm going to do it. I'm doing it. I'm doing that one again.
Yes, hello,
I
Jeremiah.
do know it's now in Jeremiah 6. This is our
Verse 17, is it?
I don't think so. I think it's 24. It is 17 for sure.
Is it? Oh no,
It's
dang
16.
It. Oh, come on.
We got it. Jeremiah 6:16, and it says, I like the translation that says, "Stand in the crossroads."
I know. What does it say? Stand in the way.
Stand in the
What
ways.
is this, NLT?
No, this is the New King Jimmy, baby.
Oh.
Yeah, but I'm down. It's Hebrew.
Is this
So
a Bible?
when you're translating,
Dude, this one's gonna be a
it's in
German.
French.
Here we go.
It's in French. Jeremiah
Bastard.
6:16. Let's see if this one here is a 6:16. That's 7. 6:16. Yeah, stand by the roadways and look, stand in the ways and see.
Sure.
Ask for the old paths, where the good way is, and walk in it. Then you will find rest for your souls. That's what we need. Not a six-pack, washboard abs, and a Instagram following. We need rest for our souls.
Sure.
Then you will find rest for your souls. But they said, we will not walk in it.
Oh.
Also, I set watchmen over you, saying, listen to the sound of the trumpet. We need to listen to warnings. We need to listen to the warnings of wisdom in our lives. But they said, we will not listen. Therefore, hear you nations, and know, O congregation, what is among them. Hear, O earth, behold, I will certainly bring calamity on this people, the fruit of their thoughts, because they have not heeded my words nor my law, but rejected it. And then it goes on, and it actually goes on into some really heavy shit.
Yeah, I know.
It is.
That's because the Israelites be trifling, dog.
Well, and we be trifling too, just like the Israelites trifled, and we get to see exactly what we're made of in that mix.
Absolutely.
So when you see the Israelites trifling, know that you're traipsing.
Yeah.
All right?
Yeah.
Trapes and trifle.
Classic
Put
FAFO.
traipsing and trifling behind you.
Yeah.
And invest in those kind of relationships.
Absolutely.
Now, so then,
yes,
I was like, okay, I've messed up my shoulder.
Yeah.
I rolled around a little bit more. It wasn't that bad, but I knew that I didn't want to fall on it again.
Yeah.
I knew. It's like, if I've torn something, let's not separate it.
Yeah, come on.
You know?
Yep.
And I checked this one here where the labrum meets the shoulder and it's not elevated. And
to see if it's like
I do have a lot of muscular stiffness and like that. But I came home and immediately I threw down 600 milligrams of ibuprofen with a bunch of water and a bunch of food. Protect the stomach. Hydrate for kidney flushing. That's ibuprofen. And then I threw on a nice big ice pack. Held still for an hour with an ice pack. Got up and I was like, okay, so this is not great. This is not great.
Yes.
And then the next day was yesterday. I woke up in the morning. I let the ibuprofen wear off, and I waited till mid-morning, and I had more mobility, so I had improvement.
Okay.
You know.
Yeah.
And it's not.
It looks like you have great range of motion.
I have great range of motion, a little bit of soreness.
Yeah.
So then the next thing I did was I took more ibuprofen and I put on more ice for an hour.
Yeah.
And then I went and I did a bunch of work, but I had to favor the arm.
Yeah.
Today, I woke up. I don't know if I used ibuprofen or ice yet today. I think I took some ibuprofen before I went to work.
Okay.
So at about 10 o'clock, I took some ibuprofen because today was a details day.
Yeah.
So I went out to one site, did some stuff. I went to the office and did some stuff. Then I went out to another site and did some stuff. Drone shots, measurements, like that. I love this work.
Yeah.
So there I am. And then tonight I'll ice it again. And I think I'll take some ibuprofen just for the night to sleep. And Bob Lofton is neither traipsing nor trifling when he says non-religiously, read books.
Yeah.
When you turn off everything else and you let your imagination be the movie screen, you are synthesizing the experience within yourself through the written word.
Yeah.
And I think that Bob Lofton is on some very
solid ground,
non-institutionalized thinking.
Sure.
Dear watchers, dear listeners, we fear that you have been institutionalized in your thinking.
Yeah.
We dread that is the case with a fairly sure knowledge. Looking at the lay of the land, it is very likely that you have been. So it'd be great for you to do small things and big things.
Yeah.
To make a break with that.
Yep. But you can start small.
You can start small. think of it as planting seeds.
Yeah, it's a good way to put it.
I think we should eschew, ESCHEW, eschew.
Yes.
That is to distance away from us, push off
Yeah.
the heroic one shot,
Oh my gosh.
one punch, one kill.
Yeah.
We should look to sow seeds.
Look to the farmer.
We should plow up
Yeah.
the fallow ground of our hearts and our minds, and we should sow seeds like things that are noble, things that are wholesome,
Yeah.
things that are of ancient good repute.
Yeah.
We should do that.
100%.
I want you to do that. I'm CapmLew, and this is Luke.
Yeah.
And we want you to do that. Turn over a new leaf. It's good for you. And that's by the way, that's a pun.
Yes.
Because pages of a book are referred to as
leaves. Yeah, I know.
But you would have to read books
to know.
to familiarize yourself.
Yeah, it's fine.
That is probably true. Well, so this has been a good day. We want to give a special thanks to our sponsor, Life Skateboards.
Yes, sir.
For making the boards that we ride and that we strenuously recommend to all of our listening audience.
100%.
We would like to give props to Catch Wind Clothing Co.
Yep.
And we would like to continue to recommend to all shoe companies, just make good shoes.
Yes.
All right. So there we go.
And a big thank you to Bud for making the magazine. That's very cool, man.
Big props to Bud Stratford. Everybody go get your copy of Everything Skateboard magazine. It's like $3. I think mine was $3 something.
It's so cheap. It's insane.
Yeah, it's like $3.40. Go get it.
Yep.
And tell everyone else to get it.
Yep.
Read it, love it, hate it.
Don't care.
Take a dump on it. All press is good press.
All press is good.
Thanks for listening. CapmLew podcast.
Yep.
For what it's worth, we say what we want. If you listen through the whole thing, it's on you.
It is.
Thanks, everybody.
Laters.